Hello kiddos, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video is going to be another episode of this drawing and talking. I don't even know how this section is going to be called, but yeah, basically like drawing and doing a review of one of the books. I want to tell you that I have this page on Instagram that is called The Middle Kiddo. It's where this title of this YouTube channel is coming from. In there I put some quotes and some drawings, plus some reviews about books, because this is my thing. Yes, let's start with another episode of this section, whatever it's called. If you can think of a name, just like put it down here and maybe like I will pick it up. Okay, well, the book that I'm going to be talking about today is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. The reason why I picked this book was because I have it on my shelf for quite a while. Like, I've heard really good things about it, but never really found the time to sit down and read it because it's quite a long book. It's like 370 pages, but it actually feels a little bit longer.
Sure!
I think that the book is divided in 3 parts. Is Good Day, Bad Days, and the last one that I don't remember now because I'll have the book right here, but I will put it here on the screen. The book, it's all about self-acceptance and loneliness, and I thought it would be like a really good conversation that we can have all together while I start this drawing. The quote that I chose from this book for today's drawing is going to be, sometimes you simply needed someone kind to sit with you while you deal with things. The reason why I chose that quote is because I think that it represents the book really well, and at the same time it brings to my mind like all these ideas on what I want to make the drawing about, and I'll be showing you what the drawing is. Basically, the reason why I chose this quote is because the book talks about loneliness, as I was saying before. It talks about like how you feel when you have to be alone. The main reason why I like Eleanor as a character is because she talks about loneliness, and the book talks about loneliness in a way that there's not suffering the loneliness all the time. She's quite good with that, and she deals with that on a daily basis. The book starts as a routine, and I think that's why it is so beautiful, because she's not suffering the loneliness. She's not saying like, oh my god, like I need someone, I need a friend, or I need to start a relationship or something. She's like very self-sufficient, and she feels like everything that she has in her life, they're nice things that makes her feel fine. There's another quote that in the beginning of the book, it says, if someone asks you how you are meant to say fine. You are not meant to say that you cried yourself to sleep last night because you hadn't spoken to another person for 2 consecutive days. Fine is what you say. And that's a thing that I have always thought. When you meet someone on the street, or when you just pass by someone and that person asks you, hey, how are you? You're not meant to start talking about your life traumas, you know? You're basically like, I'm fine. You just continue because the other person doesn't want to explore that side of you. It's more than anything a small talk. But when you're passing through a crisis, or you're going through something that you actually need to talk with someone in a deeper way, to say only I'm fine makes you feel quite lonely. And I think the character Eleanor Oliphant, she started realizing on how she really feels about her state of mind, because in a moment she started thinking if fine is the right answer. What happened when someone asks you how you are, but is meaning to ask you that, or want to know how you're coping with the things that you're dealing with? And that is when the other character comes on. That's a character that is called Raymond. Raymond is basically her only friend. And the funny part is that in the beginning she didn't like him, and that's a thing that happens sometimes with friends, that might have happened to you, that you meet someone and you don't like the person at all because of some reason, maybe some judgmental thing that you are thinking, but with time that person becomes your favorite person, and you cannot think your life without that person. That is what is beautiful about friendship, and what I like about the friendship that these 2 characters are having. So she kind of like see herself through his eyes, and she realized that she's not perfect either, but no one is. They basically witness an accident of someone else, so then they become attached to this person and try to help this other person. She started thinking more of other people more than herself. And the way that this goes through in the book is in a really good pace. You basically are living this thing that she is realizing about life and friendship and relationship in general. And while you're at it, you understand why she is the way she is. While you're reading it, you kind of like don't understand why in the beginning she's sort of mean with people. You start thinking like she's judging everyone, but there's a part of her life that you don't know, that I'm not going to spoil because I think that it's really worth reading. One of the things she explores is that she has a trauma in her childhood. You only know in the beginning that she was in an accident or something like that as a part of her face is burned, but you don't get like really that much detail on what happened to her until later on in the book. She realizes that she has to understand herself better and she has to dedicate some time for herself before she can give any more to any other person. There's not many quotes, and I think that that's intentional in a way because it's not meant to be a self-help book. And a lot of times, in a lot of moments of my life, I have this thinking, that I live a lot inside my head, and sometimes that doesn't reflect on the way that I relate with people. I have problems trusting people just because all the people that I have trusted when I was at that age have kind of like disappointed me or have tried to hurt me in some way. So for me to trust someone became really hard. That is one of the things that I felt very identified with this character. That's the thing with Eleanor, and that's why I think I love this book that much. I think that the way that she realizes that it's so good to be happy with yourself, to have your routine, to be self-confident, and to think that you have all your shit together and you have all your problems solved, but then you start realizing that maybe you need people. Maybe it's okay to ask for help sometimes or to talk with someone. There's a point when we all realize that we need to talk with someone, and we shouldn't be afraid to ask for help or to ask for some content. There's a moment in the book that it's very cute. That is when she feels a hug for the first time after a long time. To feel the contact with another person and to feel like you're content and you can actually make mistakes and be yourself just because the other person is going to be there for you, not judging, just being supportive. I think the way Gail Honeyman writes this is very different from another stories, just because you are all the time in her point of view. You're not just an observer of the situation, but you are immersive on those sensations. I absolutely recommend this book. It might not be the greatest book of all time, but it's a book in which you will find a part of yourself. And that's why I really like it. Last week I was reading How to Kill Your Family, and it's a completely different experience. If you want to see what I think about that book and what drawing I made based on that book, just check the link that I will put in here, and I will put it in the description as well. And if you have read this book, if you have read Eleanor Oliphant, is completely fine. I want you to put a comment down here because I want to hear what you think about it and what experiences that the character goes through you can relate. And this drawing is going to be live right now, so please go and check it out on my Instagram page. I will put also the link down here below. And if you want to know more about books, just please follow this channel. Click on the subscription button and put on the notifications as well so you can find out whenever I upload a new video. And that will be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being there. Thank you for sharing some time with me. I will see you next week with a new video. Bye bye. Mwah.